morning, my superstars. How are you? I am Trisha Dyka of the Happy Empath, and I am excited to be here today to share the empath tools to help manage emotional overwhelm. And just for those who don't know what an empath is somebody who picks up either people close to them, collectively, emotions, and they take it on as their own. Mental issues, meaning you could be walking down the street and you're kind of in a brain fog. I call it an empath fog. And you really have a hard time making a decision because your clarity is off, because you're picking up whatever's going on around you. And then, of course, there is the physical aspect of being an empath. And that is really picking up people's physical issues. And I'll go into a little bit more about that, but I wanted to share a little bit about me. My story was not pretty. I was a hot mess. Thank you. My background's beautiful. I love it. I was a hot mess. About 10 years ago, literally, it was right around my birthday in September. We were coming into the holidays, and I love the holidays. This year, as we were coming in, I kind of felt like a zombie. I was depleted. I was exhausted. I literally felt like I wasn't feeling anything. Like there was nothing good. There was nothing bad. I was just there. And then right around Thanksgiving, it was like the emotions broke through. The pressure cooker exploded. And all the years that I had pushed down emotions that I thought were mine, because growing up, I was told anyway, stop being so sensitive, stop crying, or I'll give you something to cry about. All of these things just, I hid it. I hid it to the best of my capability. And all of a sudden, bam, I was sobbing every single day, sobbing like the weight of the world was on my shoulders. And my husband would be like, what can I do? How can I help you? What's the matter? And I just kept saying, I don't know. And I'm an extrovert, so I love being around people. I love being around their energy and hanging out and just being active. And I hid in the four walls of my house. I went to work, I came home, and I hid. I went to work, I came home, and I hid. And even at work, I would catch myself running to the restroom to sob in the stalls. So it was after Christmas. This went on for a good 2 to 3 months, but I finally looked at myself and I'm like, I can't do this anymore. This is terrible. And I just sat down and I said, what can I do? What can I do? I'm like, and this is something I'm not very proud of, but I actually said to the universe, you need to help me, or please let me not wake up tomorrow, because I can't do this anymore. I can't look at myself in the mirror and have another day in extreme anxiety, depression, sadness, and sobbing uncontrollably. I mean, at this point, my husband had no idea what to do with me anymore because this was going on for months. And I literally said, please let me go in my sleep. I just can't do it. And I remember the next day I woke up and I'm like, oh my God, I'm still here. There's got to be a reason. And it was interesting because I had people out of the blue on Facebook contacting me. And remember, I asked the universe for help just a day earlier. And I started connecting with these people and they're like, what's going on? I got a message to tell you and to help you. And I'm like, I don't know what you can do for me because I'm a mess. And some woman said to me, you're an empath. And I had never heard of it. I had no idea what it was. I'm like, okay, yeah. And I really liked her. And I remember telling my husband, and going to bed that night, he did a tremendous amount of research. The next morning, he's like, I bookmarked a ton of these places. You need to go read this because, hun, you're an empath. And I'm like, all right. So I remember doing it, going, oh my God, this is me. And it was like these light bulbs were just going off. And I was like, oh my God, I need to figure this out because I can't live like this. And if I'm living like this, I knew other people were living like this. So I went through, oh my God, I hate my life. I'm cursed. All these negative things in my head that were going on. And on top of that, guys, I'm going to share something people find a little bit weird, but I was also hearing the emotions in my head. I was hearing people's thoughts. So I would be coming home from work hearing, I don't want to go home, or I don't want to deal with this. Or one was really freaky, was I can't stand my kid. And I didn't have kids, and I still don't. So I was like, and I was like, the men in white coats are going to come take me away. That is really what I thought. And it just, when I realized that I was an empath, I said to the universe, all right, you got my attention. Now what do I do? And I got a download that said empath symbol. Now, guys, this is where it's going to start helping you with that emotional overwhelm, because I had no idea how much during the day I would pick up that was mine. So when I first used an empath symbol, I basically started a daily ritual for myself. I did a quick grounding exercise. I did a meditation, and I asked the universe to show me my symbol. And my symbol was a bear. I live in Long Island, New York. There are no bears here. So, and I love big animals. When you pick an empath symbol, it can be anything. Flowers, instruments, animals, mammals, whatever you like. And it doesn't have to, just like it, you know? So I had a bear. And I remember one night we went to Best Buy and we pulled up, we were going in, and I just was feeling this level of anxiety, high anxiety. And my husband at this point was really recognizing, like he could see when I was really starting to shift. And we walked in the store, and on every single TV across the top was the television, and on every television was a bear. So my husband starts laughing. He's like, look. So of course I had to doubt it. And I'm like, I said to the universe, all right, prove it to me. And literally this woman walked right in front of me saying, lions and tigers and bears, oh my. And I just stopped and I went, okay, you've got my undivided attention. Now I need to trust you, and I need to trust me, because 10 years ago I did not. I didn't trust myself. I didn't trust the universe. And that is, unfortunately, the way that I grew up, you know. But I ended up using this symbol. And when I first started using it in the beginning, I saw it was coming up 90 to 95%. And I was like, good God Almighty, how much I am picking up, even in the four walls of my own house. Like I would come home from work and there would be bears on TV. There would be bears on social media. I would get a random bear from somebody who is on my email. Like it was just random. And I remember looking at the guide one night, and there was like 3 different spots where it had bear in the title. There was something to do with bears. And I'm like, all right, universe, I see, I get it. And as soon as I started to realize how much I was picking up, my anxiety level went from here, 150, way down. So then I said, all right, I'm starting to recognize my own energy, and the bear has helped me. Now I use a couple of symbols, and if you're just starting out, please just use one. But I also use one for collective consciousness, collective fear, which is really big for us as well, because whatever's going on in the world, it creates a ripple effect, and we're actually feeling it through our bodies. So you can also have a symbol for collective issues. And in my case, because I heard so much, I was really picking up telepathically thoughts and people's emotions. I created one solely for what's not mine. Because I would love to tell you all of our stuff belongs to the world and everybody else, but that's not the case. We have our own stuff we need to deal with. So I had 3 symbols that I kind of started out with. And then I said to the universe, all right, what do I do now? I've got it. I'm grounding. How do I clear it? And again, another quick and easy tool. I am the person who loves to get back to their life like that. I don't want to be stuck like the deer in the headlights, waiting to figure out, is this mine? What's going on? So my quick and easy tool is a heart-centered intention, where I imagine my heart center is open and I have a gentle breeze coming through me all day long, clearing out anything that does not belong to me, sending it down to the earth. Yes, empaths are the cleaners of the universe, but it is not a gift meant to drop us to our knees. It is not a gift that we're meant to hold on to everybody else's emotions. It is meant to be given to the universe, given to the earth, so that they can help clear this energy with us. It's not meant for us to hold on to. And that took me a while to figure out. And to be quite honest, I was the Debbie Downer in the beginning, and I thought this was a curse. And if nothing else, I had to completely change my mindset on how I looked at myself, how I looked at being an empath, and how I looked at my life. So I had to really reprogram it all. And when we're constantly going in our heads over and over and over with a litany, it then becomes a belief that we keep and we hold on to. And it's the same thing to change that belief. So I started saying to myself, this is a gift. And I started to slowly look at it as a gift, because how many people will walk up to you guys and say, and this is a great story, because I was doing bottle returns one year, and it was packed in there. My husband's right next to me. He was doing glass, I was doing plastic. And this woman stands right next to me, like literally on top of me almost. And I looked at her, and she just said, I was nudged to come in here and tell you this story. And she told me this terrible story about a friend who just passed away. She touched my arm and she said, thank you so much. I feel so much better. And she walked out. And my husband's like, that happens all the time. And I felt so good. Like, I felt terrible for her friend, but I felt good that I was able to help her in whatever way my energy helped her. So that's kind of what we do. We are empaths. Now, as business owners, one of the things that I have done for myself, and I want to share with you, again, quick and easy, right? So let's say you're on the call with a client and you're picking up so much of their energy and you're so busy paying attention or listening that you're not really also tuning into your body to see what's going on. One of the things I did that I made really, really easy, guys, is a grounding bowl. And in my bowl is sand. I went to the beach, I grabbed sand, and I've got shells in here, I've got crystals in there, and I've got a rock that says dream. And I play with it. And it helps ground my energy levels. Along too, let's say we're supposed to go into the low 20s, I think, tomorrow. So I don't really want to be outside in that cold weather as much as I love being outside. So I got something in my house that will easily help ground my energy. So that's something real easy you could do, and something you could do in between your clients. So one of the things that I've noticed about, at least about myself, is when I don't create rituals that support me through my day. And if you have none, please start small. And I'm sure we all do. But let's say we do something in the morning for ourselves. I highly recommend 5 minutes in the afternoon and 5 minutes at night as well, just to keep ourselves balanced. And I remember speaking to a client of mine, and she said, my God, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so tired. And I said, well, tell me about your day. And she proceeded to tell me she had client after client after client after client. And I finally says, when do you go to the bathroom? And she's like, I know. And I'm like, all right. So if you happen to do that to yourself, create some space between clients, 15 to 30 minutes if possible, so that you can reground your energy. You can see if you've picked anything up. You can also use that time to eat. You could use that time to use the restroom. And let's say you do need some time to ground. Go to YouTube. And I love watching a fireplace. I love it. So you could do nature scenes, water scenes, whatever, makes you happy, just for like 2 minutes, 3 minutes. And it's like you're reconnecting with yourself so that you are ready for your next client. How do you know if you've picked anything up? Erica, well, what I do is I use an empath symbol, which I talked about in the beginning of the chat, and mine's a bear. So I will see bears too, which I forgot to say is in my third eye. I'll see a bear, it'll just flash in my eye, and I'll be like, all right, I'm picking up my client's stuff here. So I imagine the heart-centered intention, which will clear everything out and let it flow. And I'm always making sure my energy is grounded. There are days that I don't do my morning rituals because I wake up a little bit late and I'm running, and then I find myself on that hamster wheel. When I find myself on that wheel, I find I pick up so much more because I'm not being present. And that's a big thing for empaths, is being present in our body, being present within our energy field. So knowing that we've immediately picked something up. That too, as I got to really know my, absolutely, Cheryl, we have to carve time out for ourselves. So I've immediately will know I've picked something up. And as I use the symbol, I've used it for over 10 years now. And I see it less and less, but that's because I'm also so tuned into my own energy. The more tuned into our own energy, and that is like kind of just stopping and breathing and coming into our own body and seeing where we feel tightness, where we feel resistant, where we feel like this, maybe even pain or tension. For me, in the beginning, I caught a lot of it in my heart center. I caught a lot of it in my stomach. And believe it or not, my throat. Because I never realized how many people would hold on to their truth or would hold on to their anger, and it would build up into their throat. So these were spots in my body that I would always constantly tune into to see what's going on. And when I'm tired or when I don't feel good, I catch myself picking up more, because our body is trying to constantly give us energy and heal us and take care of us, that when we are tired or don't feel good, we pick up things even quicker. So those are the days we need to be even more conscious of what's going on. We need to have more self-care in place. And self-care to me also is coming up and being one with whatever's going on. It's not about ignoring emotions, resisting emotions. It's about accepting it all. It's also about clearing what is not ours, handling what is ours, and taking time to have that meditative practice. Have some kind of practice where we can just let it go. And sometimes, like meditation, typical traditional meditation does not work for me. So what I like to do is I will get up and I will draw. I will color rocks or shells. I will do something where my mind is engrossed in whatever project is right in front of me. And that is when it seems like I am letting everything go, and it starts to just lessen really quickly. That's a great meditative practice for me. And something else I really wanted to share with you guys is the happier you are and the more you raise your own vibration, the less these emotions affect you and the easier they flow through your body, because you're not so that deer in the headlights constantly, where you pick something up and now your mind is trying to make sense of the emotion you picked up. So it'll create stories. It'll create stories, God, from the day of the flood, when you had an argument with your friend, coworker, your family member, your significant other, or you're, oh my God, I'm worried about something in the future, when the reality of it is you've just picked up somebody's emotion and you're holding on to it. And because you're not being present, you've taken it on as your own. So once you say, all right, when you stop and you catch your mind going 20 miles an hour, and it's going down that rabbit hole, you can actually stop and say, is this mine? Ask yourself, is this mine? Feel into your body. See if your symbol is coming up. And again, we do have our own stuff. We have to handle our own stuff and deal with it. So, Erica, you're saying, this is so good, thank you. I always feel crazy after clients and have tried meditating, grounding, and cord cutting, but it doesn't help. Try the heart-centered intention. And another thing that's real great that works for me in between clients is using water. Water is a great cleanser. Like, I will go into the bathroom and have a pretty soap that I use, and with the intention of letting it go. Just letting anything I picked up go. And as always, because I'm going to get going now, guys. And if you have any other questions, please post below and I will definitely come back and answer. And if you need something, you're a little struggling with this, just ask. I'll come back, I'll answer, I'll help you any way that I can. But one of the things that you can do is ask the universe for help. Ask the universe to clear the energy. Ask the universe for more energy if you wake up tired. And say to the universe, I'm not feeling well today. Please help me to heal my body. It's like we have this thing in our head saying we can't ask for help, but ask for help. Ask for whatever you need, and you'll be surprised what the universe does to support you. And I gotta tell you, That was really big for me, having trust in the universe and trust in myself. So that was one of the beliefs 10 years ago I immediately started working on. And to this day, I still work on. All right, guys, again, any questions whatsoever, please post below and I will come back and answer it. And I'm so glad you all were here and stopped by, and I will go through the feed and I will ask some questions. All right, guys, I'll talk to you later.